Let's dive into one of the most famous and frankly mysterious scenes in the entire Old Testament, the story of the burning bush. It's an image that's absolutely unforgettable, but the meaning behind it, well, that's even more profound.
I mean, everything hangs on this one central mystery, right? You've got a bush that's completely engulfed in flames, but it just isn't burning up. It's not turning to ash. So you have to ask yourself, what on earth is this supposed to mean?
So, to really get the message, first, we've got to understand the moment it all happened. It's a story that brings together a simple shepherd, a very particular mountain, and a sight that is just completely impossible. We meet Moses, and at this point in his life, he's basically living in obscurity. He's fled his old life in Egypt and is working as a shepherd, guiding his father-in-law's sheep out in the wilderness, all the way to a place called Horeb, known as the Mountain of God.
And it's right here, in the middle of this totally normal workday, that he sees it. A messenger of God appearing in a blazing fire right from the middle of a bush. Now, Moses' reaction is absolutely key here. He's just fascinated by how strange it is. He thinks, I have to go see this. Why isn't the bush burning up? And it's that curiosity that pulls him into one of the most important conversations in all of history.
So as Moses gets closer, you've got to understand something really important. This isn't just some random hill in the desert. The place itself, this mountain, is hugely significant.
Right, so why Horeb? Why this exact spot? Well, the choice of this location is completely deliberate. It's packed with meaning, because this mountain is basically the stage where some of the most critical events between God and the Israelites are about to play out. You can almost think of Horeb as like ground zero for divine interaction. This is the very same place where the 10 Commandments will be handed down. It's where a sacred promise, a covenant, will be made. It's also a place of great failure, remember the golden calf? And incredible miracles, like water gushing from a rock. So this vision, it's really just the opening act for this mountain's long and important story.
So here's the crucial part. When the voice from the fire tells Moses, take off your sandals because you are standing on holy ground, it's officially setting this mountain apart. This is a unique space now. It's a place where heaven and earth are meeting, a spot of direct divine presence.
Okay, now we're getting to the real heart of it. We've got our man, we've got the place, but what about the fire itself? What does this unburnt bush actually symbolize? It's time to unlock the meaning.
The very first thing the voice does is state its identity. And notice, it doesn't just connect to Moses, it reaches way back into the past, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We're talking about the patriarchs, the founders of his entire nation, who have been dead for centuries. Now that is a massive clue.
And while this vision was obviously life-changing for Moses right then and there, its deepest theological meaning, well, that gets unpacked hundreds of years later in the New Testament, and it gives us the final key to understanding what was really being said.
And there it is. That's the line that unlocks everything. By saying he's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God isn't just talking about historical figures. He's saying that to him, they are still present. He is the God of the living.
So let's put all the pieces together. The bush that's on fire but never consumed, it's this incredibly powerful symbol of God's eternal nature. You know, just like the fire burns but never dies out, God exists without ever being diminished. He doesn't forget. His promises don't just expire. He is constant, he is present, and most importantly, he is alive.
Okay, so we've got this really profound, deep theological idea. But what does it actually mean for Moses, a guy standing in the desert, whose people are enslaved hundreds of miles away? This wasn't some abstract philosophy lesson. It was an urgent, life-altering message for right now.
Yeah, from a human point of view, the patriarchs were long gone. Their stories were ancient history. But this vision of the bush declared something completely different. It said the God who made promises to them wasn't some figure from a history book. No, he was still their God, still right there, and his promises were as alive and active as that fire in the bush.
This vision was a direct message to a nation in chains. It was God saying, hey, I have not forgotten the promises I made hundreds of years ago. To me, that's still an active deal. I have seen what's happening to my people in Egypt. Your pain is not invisible to me. My presence is constant, it's steady, just like this fire that never goes out. And maybe most important of all, I am not a memory. I am here, right now, to act.
So you see, the burning bush wasn't just some random magic trick to grab Moses' attention. It was a living, breathing demonstration that the God of the past was still very much alive in the present and was about to completely change the future. And that really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? If a promise made centuries ago can still be seen as present and active, what does that say about how we understand time? How do things like memory and commitment stretch across the boundaries between the past, the present, and the future in our own lives?